How are you today, everybody? Couldn't help it. This is another episode of Relatively Thinking with your host, Cody.
And I'm Sean. Kind of a little bit of an experiment on the episode today. We're going to kind of bounce around, throw some theories, relative thoughts. See where it goes.
Yeah, so basically, instead of having our normal five fast facts and then like an actual topic, we basically decided that we're gonna try almost like a live think tank, and we have a couple different thoughts and theories that we have, and we're gonna just kind of throw them out there, spitball them. Was not really spitball, but to the other person it will be, and then see kind of what that generates, and also with the viewers, see if you guys as well enjoy that. Any of the content which could potentially create to another video, so on and so forth. So without further ado, we are going to go ahead and like hop right in. Also, if you if you do end up while you're in here, if you do like any of the topics, if you do have an input, feel free to go ahead and throw that in the chat. This is definitely one of the episodes to do that because it won't be it'll be rambling, but it won't be as much rambling. It won't be as much intentional rambling. So this would definitely be the one to get your point across and throw stuff in there. So back to the. All right, so I'm gonna go. Actually, I'm not even gonna go in order because this episode's already an interesting one. I'm gonna go way the fuck left field. All right, so here's this theory that I really like. I don't necessarily believe in, but I love it because it's fucking nuts. So, Saddam Hussein had a Stargate.
What's a Stargate?
So Stargate is like there's a show called Stargate. It's like portal to different worlds and other universes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And once you have it activated and running, it like in the show like creates this fucking like wall of like liquid. And then you walk through it and you walk out of another Stargate. So that is a theory that he had one, and so there was actually documented proof that that's a lot of the reasons why the Bushes wanted him so bad, is that the American government found out that he was colluding with German, Russian, and French archaeological teams as they were finding stuff around the world that would work with the Stargate, as well as old relic weapons from the Anunnaki. And that they left behind in 1700 BC when they left, and he was trying to reverse engineer all of them, and that basically the Western world did not want him to essentially open a portal to who fuck knows where, and two, have weapons of point. How the fuck do you defeat that?
Yeah, mass destruction. I gotta say, it'd be funny as shit just to hear George Bush. I think it's W. Bush or W.
Yeah, George W.
Is that the younger one?
Yeah.
Daddy said there's a man with a Stargate. It's like I can't even do the accent
with a space portal.
A space portal.
We think it needs some freedom. We're gonna go ahead and free that space portal.
What are those two towers there?
Oh fuck. A whole nother
one. Shit, dude, that'd be crazy. That'd be nuts. I don't know. You do see that whole liquid thing. You should have a lot of. There's got to be a backstory behind it. You see it a lot. I've seen it in movies, Lil Uzi music videos. He comes out of the fucking thing. It's a paradise.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's kind of what threw me off there. But yeah, that'd be fucking nuts. So I don't know what is it? Just like artifacts, like ancient shits that just kind of come together and allow for this.
So you kind of have to know the theory of what the Anunnaki are. So the theory behind the Anunnaki is that they are this superior race of beings, and that they basically Earth was habitable, but there was no like real like intelligent life on it, right? And basically what they did is they wanted to use it for its resources: gold, precious metals, water, so on and so forth. So what they did is that they came here and created a slave race of thinkers. So that initial slave race of thinkers was thought to be the Atlanteans. The Atlanteans, though, because they were more intelligent than them, decided that, no, we're not going to do shit, and we're going to da-da-da-da, and there's a theory that's why Atlantis was destroyed. Then, after, they got rid of the Atlanteans, the theory was that they created a second species to be used for slave labor, which is what humans were created for. Cro-Magnons being extremely strong and this, that, and the other, they were too dumb. So then they started to breed them with themselves and other things to kind of create a hybrid of something more intelligent,
Jesus,
and so on and so forth. And then basically, like, there's like this whole story behind them of like, like the leader and then so on and so forth, and that's where all the gods come from and the thought process behind them. And basically, like, they got the resources they need and they left in 1700 BC. The other theory is on the other universe that they live on, it may have been it may have been 3,000 years, but to them it could have been, a couple days, so on, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's a definite, like, the DNA in the human race at some point hit like some crazy alternate route. I wouldn't be surprised if that all just kind of tied in, and then that maybe that portal, that's where that goes. Maybe that Stargate brings you right back to
and that's the thing.
Quick access to the motherland that they probably use or something.
But you have to look at the positive and negatives of the scenario. What if the last Stargate here broke, and that's why they haven't came back, and that they were really extremely malicious, and it's kind of a good thing that it broke, and that's how we flourished. And they come back and they're like, "The fuck do the monkeys speak for? Like, let's kill them all." Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yes, yeah. Or I don't know. I'm not quite sure. That could be portrayed as a few things. I mean, I would definitely like to think of a positive route where it would just be like these artifacts and shit that Saddam was looking for and shit. Like, maybe like held like some crazy. It could be like a non-physical thing too. Like, it could be like he had a Stargate. It doesn't mean it was an actual portal.
It could just mean that it was there where he obviously resides. He could have inherited it.
Oh yeah.
And then he was trying to put the pieces together.
Yeah, I was thinking more along the lines just like that cliche, like, you gain, like, you find this, that, you read it, like, and then all of a sudden and then, something like that.
Well, I mean, in somebody in power, you're going to want further knowledge, you're going to want further power, so on and so forth. So the weaponry, obviously, you would want it if it's, more advanced than anything we have today.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, especially when like, if you know it's about to be, like, coming down hard on you. You're just like, damn, like, I mean, you could go through anything just to try to get something. So,
and you're
experimenting with something,
especially like with the whole World Bank thing and this, that, and the other. Like, every other country's against them. Why wouldn't you want weapons stronger than what everybody else has?
Yeah, especially if you're not stubborn, but you just know, like, you're about to go down. And you just can't.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's an interesting one. Definitely dive more into that.
Yeah.
I wonder. I don't know. I want to dive into more of the theory that it's not like a physical
Well, so on a side note, this is the 4th episode that I brought up Anunnaki. Not even intentionally. They just came up 4 different times. So
it's pretty good.
Within soon, we're going to have like an actual Anunnaki episode.
Yeah, hell yeah. I could definitely get down with that.
Because it's just it's an interesting theory.
Yeah, and then along with the DNA, the alternative, like, the course of what had happened with us. Hell yeah. This first one, I gotta come out with the good one that I enjoy. The predetermined life. Now, this is a pretty interesting theory. So, Einstein once said, the distinction between past, present, and the future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion. So, given that our present is another time's past, and according to the laws of physics, you can't change the past. So then, essentially, we are living a predetermined life.
Okay.
And there was the simulation. So I was gonna say this and put it into something else. The simulation, and that would sum up like how our life would be like a simulation. How it's already predetermined. And there's actually like studies like crazy. I was reading into it. It was like started in 2011 of scientists looking for factual reasons to prove that we live in a simulation, that we are controlled, and this could even be where we became like those slave workers. You know what I'm saying? That's and then it was a whole entire another one of the, like, I don't know how all this ties in, but the universe as we see it is a hologram.
Yeah,
You've heard that one, and then like the gravity, like wavelengths and all that shit in space is just light being just kind of altered, something passing through it or something like that. That one was weird, but if you think about it, you throw like those are some pretty far out theories, you throw them together, and then boom, you got your world, your life as you know it as a simulation. Like,
that's fucking still going. Yeah. Calm down, guy. So
bells around.
It's very interesting in a lot of ways. I will throw out there that I definitely don't believe in the predestined aspect.
Yeah. There's too many other. Yeah. I noticed it while reading. There's too many other.
But I do like the thought process behind it, and then the research that would be entailed in it. Now, I do like the other, like the whole living in a matrix and so on and so forth. I believe so. Here's kind of a spin-off gut shot theory on that. I believe that I could believe that something is attempting to predestine our existence, not our personal lives. That's too minute, but our existence is it being attempted to be. Essentially, this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. Yeah, but I feel like we've been the past 100 years. I feel like we've really like pulled away from that and fought back as a civilization and kind of spun it.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, it's definitely possible being in the Matrix. Being in a simulation or something.
Fucking Neo.
But yeah, I'm excited for that. They're making a fourth one.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be dope.
With the same.
I have to watch all four in a row.
With the same woman director. I want to say something happened. Either way, Yeah, me and Emily, I made her watch all three. But, fuck. I don't think it's like a simulation to the fullest. I think like you said, something, I think that's just the way the government work, or not the government specifically, but there could be the higher ups where it's just like, all right, we're like, this is the stage that we set for human life.
Anybody that we would see would, like, if that were to be the case, it would never be anybody we would physically ever see.
Yeah.
It would be something pulling strings from a
ridiculous. I mean, there could be like a family of just like if you think of the emerald tablets, just like the holders, the keepers. Like I imagine it'd be something wicked, like creepy. Like, hey, oh, these are the keepers. All right, they're the ones writing this shit.
So we're gonna merge two because this kind of goes in. I wanted to say this point 3 times, and it's actually one of my things, so I haven't yet. There's 2 of mine that go with it, but I'm gonna go with the one most to this conversation.
That's that first one right there.
Yep, multiverse.
Yeah.
So it ties into that. In order for somebody to be doing that or something, I don't want to say somebody because again that's just like egotistical. They got to be a human. So if something were to be pulling the strings to predestine our existence, it would have to be in a multiverse scenario, and in a sense of it doesn't necessarily have to be another universe, another plane in some way, shape, or form. Yeah. So like whether it be a light frequency that we can't see, that they're still able to see everything else that we see plus some, and then they're able to manipulate that way, or so many, there's so many thought processes behind it. And that's why I like the theory of the multiverse. Yeah. And that's where I say that it can't be predestined, but they can attempt it. Is every action, like you have multiple choices, and what your choices dictate what happens next, and then that choice creates another tree of potential choices, and then so on and so forth. So there's so many different avenues that they could go, and the way time is constrained, it's not in a way that we can fathom. And I feel like all of those end up being possibilities, and they all end up being potential ways. So there's an infinite number of universes that continue, and you just try to live along the strain that makes most sense for this life in this moment.
Yeah, I had a really interesting. Like I thought about this. Like deja vu.
Mm-hmm. I was going to bring that up next.
Like deja vu. Like you get that feeling like you've seen this before or something like that. Who's to say that's just like you not like, because they say that we travel through the universes, that we travel through the multiverses. So who's to say like you didn't just pass through this, like, I don't know.
Well, explain deja vu from one that you've had, and I'll explain mine because mine's always different than everybody else's.
Well, I mean, it literally is a chain effect, like a domino effect. So it's just like you realize, you're like, oh, wow, this is awfully familiar. And then you're like, damn, I remember remembering this. And then it's just.
So my deja vu is a little bit differently. And this is another reason why I believe in the multiverse. So when I have a deja vu, in the beginning of the deja vu, will know what will happen for 30 to 90 seconds. To the T. So I've had this happen since I was young, very young. So
I know what you're talking about. I don't know. I guess mine isn't like that strong enough, but like I could see it and it's like, oh, like I knew that was, and then like but then it's still like I don't know. Like maybe I just can't understand. I can't fathom it at the moment. So then it's just like, oh, whoa, like let's see if this is really about to happen. Like,
well, so see, I'm a dickhead. So as I got older, once I realized that this consistently happens the way it's supposed to, no, I'm not going to let that happen. I know I'm supposed to do this, so I'm going to do that. And I did that on multiple occasions, which may have been my life. Anyways, so, but yeah, so like I've utilized, like I've seen both aspects of it, where it's played out and where I changed it. And I feel like that's like, I don't want to say personification because that's probably not right, but almost like a personification of what we're talking about. It's a multiverse. Your choices create the outcome, not the outcome is predetermined. Now, I feel like the outcome is predetermined in a span. You have choice here, like okay, your leg falls out while you're in the pit of the shop. Your leg kind of gives, so you just put your left leg down. Well, there's a possibility that you don't put your left leg down, you lean to the right and you fall in the pit. Or there's a possibility that you know what I mean? There's so many different, but there's only, let's say, 100 possibilities of this time. So in that essence of it, it is determined and destined. Only these possibilities can happen. But which one of these possibilities you decide, that is your choice.
Yeah, so it's like you are put along guidelines.
Yes,
so it is stones.
I mean, in a
sense,
shitty way of saying it, it is predestined, but at the same time, that's just based off of the probable factors, not actual predestiny.
Yeah, that kind of, you think about death in that matter, so then, like, I don't know, that makes me feel weird.
Like Final Destination type shit?
I mean, I won't even say Final Destination. Well, I mean, yeah.
I see it. Oh, no.
Yeah, then you get away, and then all of a sudden it's nuts. No, I was thinking, like, I don't know. If you're on your deathbed, you know what I'm saying, then it's just, you have these guidelines on how you're going to die. You have no...
Yeah, but I feel like there's choices prior to that could have switched those things. So again, that's just a repercussion of the choices prior you made.
Yeah, see, the multiverse, dude, that's an interesting one. And I can see that too, because as you go against something like that, it's like, boom, another universe, another verse.
Yeah.
You know?
All right, now we're like the fuck over here.
That's interesting. I've seen some shit where it was like proof of the multiverse. I forget, it's like some weird acaparatic or something like that theory. I don't know. I had to find the name of it. I was reading it earlier. But it was like some theory of the universe, and there's multiple universes. It wasn't like the multiverse. It was just like
it's I think it's the Euclidic.
It could very well be, but it's something with the flat planes crossing through and colliding and all that, and that's that kind of helps support with the multiverse theory, which is scientifically factual like that. Not factual, it's a theory, but
everything's theory, but as fact as much as we know.
Yeah, there was a lot of positives looking onward to that. Yes, next one. Why we dream. This one's kind of short. I mean, you don't really gain too much out of it, but there was a few theories. One, your emotions. You dream because it's something that you kind of hunker down. You feel this way, this, that. Another theory that it's just completely random. It's just your imagination, creative, working at its finest, which is, I don't know if it's called the id or the ID. No, it's definitely not the ID, but id. I think it's id, ID. Yeah, if you didn't know how to spell it.
It's a tough one.
Yeah. It's your brain. Another theory was that it's your brain. So it's just like you see so much, like your brain works. You see a lot of things, like I don't know, guys. Like you ever see that meme on Facebook where it's like a girl texts a guy and like, hey, you see a paperclip? Oh yeah, look on the floor next to my drawers, right behind the wheel. Like that, sure shit's there. So, the theory was that your brain's just kind of wrapping around, like those unnoticed theories are just kind of going through it and seeing it. And then Freudian. I want to say it's like
Freudian.
Freudian.
Yeah.
Freudian.
Sigmund Freud. Yeah.
Yeah. So his dreams. So his theory was just basically desires, your wants, your dreams. It was that. So he summed it up into three things: the id, the ego, and the superego. The id, which is suppressed when you're awake, is the urges and desires, suppressed when you're awake, so it's unconscious. You're unconscious. The unconscious thought, I guess you can call it.
Yeah.
The ego, which is rational, moral, and the superego, which tries to help censor the id and forces the morals to the ego. I don't know. I thought this one was, it doesn't go too deep. It's pretty fucking believable.
It goes deep for me because of some of my beliefs. So in the metaphysical community, most believe, there's a lot of research on dreams and like dreamology and stuff like that. And so one of them is that when you have in-depth dreams, there's meaning behind them. And the meanings are never for, this is funny because as you're saying this is something that I believe. So you have your conscious mind, your subconscious mind, and then some people, they call different things, but then you have your higher self in like a timeline aspect, or multiverse aspect is basically the one that doesn't see time. It's like, like your soul. There's no timeline. It's just it knows, like it knows from your beginning to your end. So like you can't really access that, but it's aware of everything that's supposed to happen. It just can't tell you because that's the whole point of freedom of life and so many other blah blah blah. So basically, what it is when you're dreaming, your subconscious is trying to speak to your conscious mind of things that you missed or can be coming. So, give you awareness of possible threats or possible goals or possible things like, gold nuggets that you might miss that you're not ready for, or things in conversations that you miss with people, or intentions from people, or all different types of things. And then that's where dream reading comes in.
Yeah, I get that. It's kind of like that thought where it's like, damn, like he said that, or like, that transpired the way it did.
And then it's something that you would have completely missed in your conscious mind, like as we're speaking, but your subconscious picked it up and it thought it important enough to reassess it to you. And then there's the other side of it to where it is also protecting your ego, in the sense of like something is harming you emotionally or something like that. So your mind is replaying something that you would enjoy to get you through that emotional trauma to help that ego can stay, where it is.
Yeah. Kind of protecting yourself so you don't collapse when you're unconscious.
Yeah.
That's an interesting one. I mean, the brain's a fucking powerful thing. I wouldn't be surprised if it had some type of fucking...
There's a lot that we don't know.
Yeah,
no capability of doing.
Yeah, no bullshit. I mean, I don't know. The desires, like I see that desire, but then what kind of gets in? I mean, the emotions I would get too. You have bad, have a bad day, stressful day. You have a more violent of a nightmare or a violent of a dream. Then you have to be a nightmare, and you haven't happy, you're really happy and stuff like that. There's been occasions where like I remember like it doesn't always happen, but like I'll go to sleep wanting to dream about something. Like I'll just like want it. It's like like it might be like a dream that I had previously that was just like an enjoyable dream that I had fun doing or something like that. I wanted that again. And of course, there's a few of them that have been the same. Terrible nightmares, but...
This usually, again, is that, telling you, hey, you gotta fix this.
Yeah, true shit. I never really thought about it like that, but... of like controlling the dream and wanting to dream what you really want. Fuck. I don't know. I would like to say that the desires just seems factual. You want this, you want that, it gets put into it. But then there's like, I don't know. Because then you boil it down to a scientific type of idea, like you're saying, and it's something that could be protecting us from our own, which would be fucking advanced as all hell. If you think about it, like...
Yeah. Well, we're taught to suppress all that shit. That's the whole point of school. Suppress your feelings, suppress this. Don't be different. Do with the societal norm.
And that's why there's only a selective few that do that different shit, and then they're just like blown up in the world. Like not everybody can be famous. I think it's you.
Yeah, it's me. All right, so to kind of also circle back, so I actually have there ends up being 3 of them. I'm gonna go to this one actually, because there's 3 of them that I have that tied into both the last 2 that you had. So I'm gonna go into the one that ties into this one kind of the most. So. One of them is a theory that I came across. It's my own theory, so it's probably fucking wrong. But it's a theory that I came across while researching this shit. So I was researching. I've always been fascinated by 4-dimensional, because we are 3D.
Yeah, the next step 4D.
Yeah, we are 3D. Like, what is 4D? So I am not a science major, so I am not gonna attempt to explain this because I'm gonna fucking ruin it.
I've seen that a few times where it's like long ass words, and it's like, yeah, that's
not even that aspect, but like I don't know enough about it. Let's just put it like that. But while researching 4D, I found symbols that are very, very, very close and identical to many religious and ancient symbols. And one of their names is very interesting. The second symbol I found was a tesseract. Anybody that's a fan of Marvel will know what the tesseract is.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And so it's funny that the name of the tesseract, which is a powerful thing, one of the Infinity Stones, in the Marvel Universe, is actually a 4-dimensional shape.
Huh.
and it's shaped is like a cube. So it's a cube inside of a cube that is ever flowing to where no matter, even though it's constantly moving within itself, it still maintains the same shape.
Huh.
Which is almost exactly what the Tesseract looked like in Marvel. So it's almost like they were trying to like, like, hey, look at this, motherfuckers.
Huh. Damn.
So I'm gonna kind of get your gut shot thoughts. I'll try to show them. It's probably gonna look like fucking hell.
Yeah.
So here's the first one.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's a very, very common symbol.
Yeah.
And
let's see.
Yeah, that doesn't work. So this is light and light. Nah, it's not good. Too much lightness. So it's essentially the pentagram. So it's a 5-point star with a pentagram around it. Pentagon. Sorry, again, not science major or obviously geometry. So it's a 5-point star inside of a pentagon. So essentially, obviously, it'd be ever flowing, constantly spinning. So I'm gonna see if you catch on to where I was going by the time we get to the end of this. So that is the top side of the Tesseract, which is very interesting. Cubes. Also tic-tac-toe. That's not. But anyways.
Oh no shit.
Yep. Now
nobody won though.
Nobody won.
It's just X's.
Yeah, just X's. He's playing by himself. So this was the next shape. So this is where it gets a little bit more interesting. So I don't know what the fuck shape this is, so don't ask me.
It looks like the course at the DVD video.
So that one. The other thing that I got was Atlas. Not Atlas.
Atlantis?
No, not Atlantis. Yeah, Atlas. Atlas is the one that carries the world. Not only that.
You're talking about the Greek Titan.
Yes, no. Yes, but that's not where I was going. That was just something that just fucking shit out of my mouth. So, like the old, like in the Mummy and stuff, they have like the diagram of man and woman where they're like spread, like their arms are spread apart and their legs are spread apart. And they got all the diagrams around them.
Oh, yeah.
That's like fucking what surrounds them.
Oh, yeah. And it's like the three legs. It's the legs. That come up.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that? I'm not gonna remember it.
But yeah, so there's that one. Here's another good one. So
wow,
you're getting more and more advanced. So this is like so the other one looks like a dodecahedron for anybody who knows what that is. This one looks like a dodecahedron on fucking steroids. So what is a 20-sided cube? It looks like that. I don't remember what the fucking name is for it. But
I don't even know anything past like 10. Right?
Tetrahedron, yeah. It's 10 tetrahedron.
Deck.
Is it dodecahedron? What's tetrahedron? I don't fucking know.
No,
it's too late for that shit.
Yeah.
Okay, but the importance of this one, and I will actually put the links to this in the video afterwards. I say that a lot. But this is important too.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it does. Fuck, sounds great. Sounds like a fucking YouTuber. So this is, if you look from here, it is literally the Kabbalah, or not the Kabbalah. The Tree of Life. You have Malkuth, you have fucking like the points of the body.
I would have to see it.
I will. I'll show it to you after this one. Then it gets even better.
Oh fuck.
Okay, so here you go.
Intense.
It's like almost like the Indian and Hindu mandalas that they make with sand.
I could see that as fucking, what is that, stained glass?
Yeah, stained glass. That's another one, and then the last one. Now, what vibes do you get when you see that?
An eyeball.
Oh yeah, there's that too. That's like the obvious one, but like look deeply into it. One, the picture like almost moves by itself.
Spiderweb too. Spiderwebby.
Sorry for leaving you guys out in the dark.
What is that thing?
Yeah, almost like the infinity sign, like a portal, almost like a black hole, almost like radio waves, sound waves. There's a lot of different I get a lot of different vibes and connections from a lot of ancient and good things. The other thing you get with this one, I get the Ouroboros, the dragon eating its own tail, or the snake serpent eating its own tail, which is again in secret societies and in pantheons. So you have the Norse pantheon has it. There's a bunch of different societies throughout the years who have had it.
I would literally like to highlight the path, like try like different colors, highlight the path. See, like I don't know.
Okay, so this is what the Tesseract looks like.
Oh yeah, I see.
That's fucking nuts, right?
It is very powerful.
Okay, so and just to reiterate what you didn't see, so it's a 16 cell, 24 cell, 120 cell, and 600 cell pictures. So obviously, there wasn't much insight there. But anyway, again, I am absolutely going to put these in the link because these are important to look at, and whatever you think about them, comment about it or something. But that's like there's such a mind fuck about all of those. Like,
a lot of
when
questions.
you see them, yeah, exactly, and that's what I like about them. You see them and you're like, what? Like, why does this speak to me in so many ways that I just don't understand?
Yeah, there's no if and a but about it. It's factual. It's 4-dimensional. That's what it is.
And it's drawing.
Where does it? Yeah.
It like you just don't want to stop looking at it. You feel at peace looking at it. There's something just
appealing,
unsettling. Like it's settling, but it's unsettling because it's settling.
Yeah, you don't even know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking weird. I don't know. There's something that it relates to though, like that last one, the 120 cell.
Yeah.
I think the last one is. There's just something about the path that you kind of see. If you take out all those inner rings and you just leave it, or it might be the one before it. Click back on that. No, it's the one after. Like, I don't know. You see how that shape
really, but
yeah, that shape is made like, I don't know. You can kind of see.
You know what else though too? I bet you that's like next to indestructible. Like if you were to make that into a structure, like, that would be so fucking hard to like just crush.
Oh man,
or destroy.
Damn. Oh yeah, dude, that'd be crazy. Imagine just like one of the hidden things like written on the emerald tab or written somewhere. Just 4D. Like,
so the hypersphere. That's where I was getting from it.
Oh, true.
Where it's just overlapping and keeps going.
Oh shit.
Which is like the black hole theory. That's the black hole theory.
Yeah. Yeah. Hell yeah. What?
Yeah. So again, that's 5D.
Yeah.
Or 4D. Sorry. I'm going too great.
Yeah. No, I've seen. Yeah, me and Shane used to watch some pretty intense videos, like getting into 5D and shit like that, like what it could be or what it might list, like all that crazy ass shit. I want to do an episode on that. I gotta write that down. That's fucking dope. The Tesseract in particular. There's a lot of references to that too. I kind of date back, and there's a lot of references that tie in with the way Marvel portrayed it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the thing that I like about Marvel, a lot of people don't realize, is that they hired a lot. Supernatural did it too, but they hired like a lot of experts in a lot of those fields to make sure it was as real as possible.
Yeah. Yeah, those are the good ones too. And then you remember when the FBI had to be on the set of the Transformers?
Transformers because it's too close to the truth.
Yeah, with the dark side of the moon. Fucking what? Like.
Well, and it was also because of like the base in the Hoover Dam.
Oh yeah.
It was a little. They were like, yeah, we don't want to talk about this. Like, you're not supposed to be.
Oh yeah, dude, Hoover Dam. I forgot. Damn.
Yeah. Damn.
I didn't even say. Shit. All right. Next one. Where was I going with that? Oh, the universe cycle. So, I read very thoroughly. I would not be able to reinstitute what I read, but it was a Stephen Hawking. He wrote. It was a combined 2 books, 2 science books. It was, something about space and time and the end. Like, I don't know. It was something intense. If I seen the book, I could be able to pinpoint it. But, basically, one of his theories in it was. One of his big theories is that it's a very known one now, and we're gonna expand so much that it's gonna recollapse and then boom. So big theory is that it's just a cycle. That recollapse is a Big Bang.
It is the Big Bang without Big Bang over again.
Yeah, and then it just keeps on repeating and repeating and repeating. Which, if that happened, what started it?
Very true.
You know, because if it's constantly
you need the catalyst.
Yeah. Yeah, because you can't just, at that point that takes out the whole, this mixed with that and boom. A little bit more of that. No, maybe not. Maybe not. But it did. Go ahead.
No, go. I was just.
So it did tie in to, like black holes being universes, and then with white holes as well. I'm not sure how the fuck I.
Almost like an entry and exit.
Yeah. So that's white holes haven't been. Aren't discovered, and even if they were, they should be true. Like based on theory, based on science, it should be true that there is white holes. They would only be around in extremely rare or hypothetical I forget the way they fucking.
Well, also, if you're thinking about it, like if you're ever expanding, if the universe is ever expanding, and there are things traveling in said universe, or even energy. The basic laws of matter: energy cannot be created, or not energy, but matter cannot be created or destroyed. Which, if you think of the universe as a whole, that absolutely tells us that's wrong. Anyways, so how do you expand and get a bit more and more planets if there's not more and more matter? But so on and so forth. But
cool.
If you were to how to transfer that matter from one place to another, like if the universe is expanding, how do you get things to recreate light if the things that create life are in the center of the universe? You would then need self-inflicted ways of transferring some of those things, light, energy, to the outer regions of the universe in order for it to expand. What if that's what the dark hole is? That there is a too dense of a mass of so many things, so that mass needs to be transferred further out into the universe so it continue to grow. And that's what the black hole is that density pulls it in, transports it to the white hole further out in the universe, which is why we haven't found it, because it's way too fucking far away from us to see, because we're really not that technologically advanced. So, and now it's transporting it out there, which is allowing the universe to grow.
Yeah, or the universe is just a hologram.
Well, yeah,
but
that too.
That was like kind of the same idea I had with the black hole. So, this is the black holes are supposed to be universes themselves. So it's just like, it's everything that we have just clumped up. And if you think about it with white holes, if they are true, you know what I'm saying? If these black holes are sucking in things, wouldn't the other end of that just kind of look like a white hole because it's taking all that light? So it's bringing all that light somewhere. It can't be just like,
Yeah.
I mean,
so it almost be like going from like blinding darkness, like blinding to the point where you can't see your fucking eyelid, darkness, to the point to where you're being seared off from fucking light.
Yeah. Well, it's a tricky one because we're not going to know. I don't think we're ever going to know about the black holes. And then on top of it, if that, because that would make a lot of sense. Like what I was saying was, if that's happening in our universe with the white holes, like we're pulling in all this light and stuff like that. So, I mean, that's a constant energy switch, is a constant source that's just getting like circulated through. So we have that ability to keep on expanding and expanding.
Throw off another fucking one that we already talked about. What if during that transfer, some of that, like this is a Star Trek theory, during that transfer, you're switching timelines and or universes as well. You could potentially, like Scotty picked the wrong fucking coordinates, and instead of landing in fucking Earth in 2200 AD, you fucking land in Zion fucking 7345.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or you land in Earth that was never inhabited.
Yeah, or where Earth should be and it's no longer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. That could make sense. I don't know. I really wish the white hole thing kind of got a little bit deeper and wasn't just like an idea. Because if you think about it, I mean, if that's the case, then that, there's no telling how far like that light can go. Like, there's one, what movie is that? There's one, they go down, they get trapped on the, I told you about this, they're going to find the Fountain of Youth.
Yeah.
And it's like they go down, they get trapped, and then as they look up through like one of the holes, they're seeing fucking, what's that called? Solstices. So they're seeing that pass by, and then it overall just came to a point where everything just stopped and went black and shit like that, all that. But if you think about it, like if that light's coming through and it's a different timeline, like maybe it's in the future. I don't know how that would work. I definitely don't know how that would work, but it definitely would be there for a very long time. Like or it could be very short time.
How the fuck does it work?
Yeah, fucking Sammy, dude. He's not informative.
Just want to sit in here and fucking get screen time and shit.
Yeah.
Fucking 15 seconds of fame. Don't want to fucking add anything to the show.
Fucking ass. You gave him a high five earlier. You want to look at it?
So, to spin off of that, because that was yours. So,
that was the last one I had.
That was?
Yeah.
I still have like 3.
Yeah, I conjoined.
Fair enough. All right, so there's a theory. It's a very interesting one. I like the theory. I don't necessarily believe it, but I do like it. I like the way that this guy thought. Even though this guy, I'm not going to say his name because he thinks he thought he was the smartest person that ever existed. So, like, you don't say that person's name because you don't feed the ego even though they're dead. So the theory is today is actually 4 days at once. So hear me out. So for me, like, I'm like trying to get all fucking super smart and shit. And I'm like, oh yeah, because it's yesterday and it's tomorrow, and no, that's not it. So where the sun hits the planet, it creates two different timelines, two different time points. Yeah. It creates
night and day.
Nope. No, where it hits does not. It creates midday and midnight. Or no, what is it? I'm saying this fucking wrong. Yeah, midday and midnight. Right?
Okay.
Yeah. So, well, yeah, but yeah, so on and so forth. So yeah, noon and midnight. Yeah. But anyways, so yeah, so you have your midday and midnight.
Yeah.
The middle points, so where the sun hits the hardest in the center, and where it doesn't hit, you have points as well.
That's 6.
So 4. 2 points, 2 points.
I know, but if that's 12.
Is it 12? No. Oh yeah, no, but that changes. That changes. No. That's yeah. I get what you're saying, but no. I'm like, what do you mean? That's fucking 4 points. That's like 2 and 2. Anyways, so you have the 4 points, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this goes back to another episode that we had as well, in a way. But so those 4 points create 4 different days. They're different cycles. They're the end of day, the beginning of day, the end of night, beginning of night. Which, if you were to look back, it would explain why in like Genesis and in the early books of the Bible, it said that these people were 800 years old. What if there was 4 days in one, and that's the way that they measured the days?
The way they perceived it. Huh.
So that would definitely, I thought that was fairly interesting in that aspect. It didn't get correlated in this. That was just something I thought about.
It's definitely an interesting thought. I mean,
and the other thing is it creates one of those very, very interesting symbols. So it creates that perfect circle square.
Yeah, square inside of the circle that fits perfectly with the points.
With the triangle and all that, like with the pyramids, it brings back to like the whole perfect,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it does. It's pretty fucking interesting because you have the circle, you have the square with the circle, but then each day would be the triangle, and it definitely.
I wonder if that's because you think about it. That's like biblical times. If that's the way they looked at it,
which would be the Egyptian times too.
Exactly.
Which is how they created the pyramids to signify each. And then each half a day. That's why there's 8 sides on the Pyramid of Giza. You have the halfway points of each day.
There's 8 sides?
Yeah, that's the thing. There's not 4. There's not 4. There's 8. They're actually split evenly, perfectly, and there's just a little bit of an indentation.
That's interesting. Huh.
And you can only see it at exactly one point in time during the day. I don't fucking have it on me. That wasn't wasn't predestined.
I'm surprised that didn't come up in the fucking ancient Egypt thing.
Honestly, I've known that for years. I just didn't think to say it because I figured that was kind of like a common knowledge thing by now.
Damn. Hit me where it hurts.
Oh no, not that. I'm just saying like
I'm uncultured.
Like I figured by the time you were in school, so many years after me, that would already be in there.
Yeah. Damn, that's fucking intense. I mean, I don't know. That's something definitely to go deeper with. I mean, only with time are we gonna figure out like exactly. I mean, that's like a fucking huge first step. I mean, if we thought that, or if they thought
only one time of the day can you see it.
Oh yeah, okay. So I have seen that. I never really took a fucking such a notice. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
It makes all the sense.
It does make sense, but it doesn't make sense. It's fucked up.
Look at the picture. It's literally perfect of what we're talking about. You have the dark side. You have the start of night, end of night, midnight, start of day, end of day. The perfect meridians, everything.
That's fucking nuts.
That was the fucking perfect picture to pull up.
It's 6 times a day. If you think about it. To get real technical, how like there.
It'll be 8.
Wow, fuck. Jesus Christ. I gotta smoke.
Back to math.
Yeah, fuck all that. Yeah, like I was saying, I mean, if that's the way they thought back then, that could probably uncover so much more shit.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts. Like actually, I think we can that could be a dig in for Egypt too.
Yeah, well, hell yeah. If you think about it, so now like those people that are 800 years old, they're fictional, automatically fictional. Well, actually,
we think of them as fictional.
Yeah,
but they may. I mean, I don't think of them as fictional, but in that consensus, the scientific community thinks of them as fictional, right? The analytical, data-driven people think of that as fictional.
Yeah.
But, shit,
wow, that was fucking whack.
Fucking weird.
What was in the mic? That was a cord.
Oh my goodness. All right, so Oh my god, stop it, you piece of shit. So, let's put it like this.
It would have to be 200 years old.
200 years old. Yeah. Divided by 4. It's now 50.
Oh, yeah.
Why the fuck I needed a calculator for that 200 divided by 4? Come the fuck on.
Well, I was thinking of the 800
but still.
Year-old aspect. I mean,
200, but.
Yeah, I don't know. That could be like really fucking.
But it does create a validity to those documents.
Yeah, more than definitely. And then it kind of throws out, yeah, exactly. Because then you start digging deeper, and it's like, oh, well, it probably was real. Then.
What if their years were the seasons? You know what I mean? Like,
oh, dude, that would fuck us up so bad because now we're thinking about it, like, oh, this guy, he was a god, and he did from this to this, and it turns out like we were
just each season.
Yeah, we were just like that fucking destroy history. We were implementing things. Oh, this happened then. Oh, no. And this is probably why we figure out we're about so much fucking older than we really are.
And why carbon dating fucking sucks.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. What is the I know it's like such a terrible percentage of accuracy. I remember learning about it because there's a whole new way of more accurately, I guess you say, dating things. I'm not too sure. That was a while ago. That was a school thing, so I ain't gonna remember that. But all right, damn. Hey, let's fuck up our.
To caveat off of that one, because now we're on Egypt.
Here we go.
So, Large Hadron Collider. So obviously there's a Hadron Collider.
Obviously the Hadron Collider. No idea. No idea.
All right.
No.
Well, anyways,
fucking.
So we talked about like with CERN, like when the atomics, like when they send the atoms next to each other and try to make a collision, CERN like split the atoms and so on and so forth and create different things. That's a theory of how antimatter was created and blah 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 blah. That's the Dan Brown version. But anyways, so it's the Angels and Demons. Have you seen Angels and Demons?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, where they do where they collide the fucking molecules to create the antimatter.
Yeah, that's the shit that they stole.
That's the thought process. It's the hydrogen collider. The Hadron Collider. So there's a theory that is a device to awaken Osiris. That was created specifically to awaken the god Osiris.
Well, what is his role? I don't think he was a negative person, huh?
Well, yeah, but he was like the god. He was a creator.
Oh, okay. So he's had a honcho.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting. I wonder. That could fucking tie in because now I'm looking at it as like different cultures, not even just ancient. Because like now you think of like Kronos.
Yeah, Kronos.
It's like the Covenant was supposed to, or not the Covenant.
Not the Covenant. Kronos was Zeus's dad.
Yeah. In the Greeks, all their dads.
Yeah.
But
fuck him.
Fuck. Yeah, I don't know. No, I'm going to stick to Egypt because I'm going to end up losing myself with the Greek. That'd be strange. That'd be. I don't know. You think like how the fuck?
I just thought it was fucking crazy. I thought it was awesome.
I mean, it's a cool theory, but you think they
knew?
It's
fucking Godzilla.
Yeah, that'd be terrible.
For Japan.
Yeah. I was gonna throw that
until they start fucking. He eventually likes them and he starts battling other monsters for him.
What is it? They did something for him.
Yeah, they have like a day for him and shit.
No, Godzilla. What the fuck is it?
Did they create a statue of him too?
I don't know if it's a statue, there's a law or something. It's something weird. But either way, Osiris, do you think they have the capability of knowing about like the fucking whole atom? Like the capability of knowing, and this guy was just like, these motherfuckers are ready to die.
So it creates a extremely like the theory behind it is that it creates a lot of like the contact between them almost creates many like earthquakes, like major earthquakes, but like penetrates deep enough to where it would awaken him.
Oh shit, that goes across. Remember how we were talking about how they pinpoint the the 4 steps to know when that's in the New World Order?
That's interesting. Yeah, but that's how that came about, was from CERN. They believe that CERN is going to, create different, earthquakes, particularly in certain spots. Uncover. Osiris. That's interesting.
Yeah, were you thinking as like somebody or like these people that are in control of those 4 steps, they worship and they're like, oh, we need to bring it. Like this is Father Lord.
That's interesting.
It's very interesting. I don't know what the fuck that was.
I think that was just a wire hitting something because it fucking makes crazy noises.
Nice, yeah.
Damn. So last one.
We gotta write these down. We gotta jot these down. I have to watch this over again.
Yeah, this is
50 minutes out of this. I didn't even expect it. I thought a half an hour.
Yeah,
Got a half hour
fucking
per
going.
straight.
And I got one more. Me and you already talked about this one. I saw it again.
Yes. I like it. I have a cool. So Hitler still alive.
Not still alive, but was still alive after the Allies stormed.
Unless we're judging his age by 4 days.
Well,
I don't know how that would make it. That would make him.
He'd be like 120 right now.
Yeah,
Pretty.
50, 40, 60. Yeah.
He's probably dead.
Yeah. Well, I definitely support this. It was something I did think was really cool. You ever heard of the? This is gonna tie in. I do think he's still alive, but I have to tie this in because Hitler and some of the dude with like the only main people that believe this. So you ever heard of the ice doctor? The ice doc? It's the ice doctorine or something.
Doctrine?
Yeah, doctrine.
Ice doctrine.
I always do that fucking shit. Anyway, so the theory was that the foundation of all things, the universe, was ice.
Oh, that's interesting. Like cryogenics.
Like that. Yeah. So I think it was like 1876. This guy looked, and his idea was that the moon was just a sheet of ice, not like a sheet of ice, but it was made up of ice, and all that shit. And Hitler, you know how far out Hitler could have gone, you know, looking at the UFOs and all that shit. Was like one of the fucking biggest supporter of it. And like, I don't know, I kind of boiled it down like ice. Okay, that's cool. That would make sense though. You think about it, water, you know, and then like you go even a little bit further and you think about Mars. Mars loses its atmosphere and their poles freeze to ice from what we think we know. And then you look at all these other further ass planets that are away from our sun. Like Pluto's supposed to be like a fucking ice. Like the more you dive into it, it's like ice, baby, ice.
So vanilla ice. So just a gut shot. Let you know if you're squeamish, but I fucking rub my eyes like an idiot. My contact's gonna fall out, so that's gonna be okay. Right? Just didn't come out. Well, we'll get that later.
Wherever it may be.
Still in the eyeball. Might still be in the eyeball.
I've never had this problem. This is like one of those movie things. Oh, I lost my contact. Like I've never had
my chinky from the gloves.
I've never.
I knew not to rub my fucking. You can't rub your actual. I still don't know how I feel it.
Yeah, moves it around and shit.
Yeah, it fucks it all up. Fucks the suction up. So, anyways, yeah. So basically, I believe that he survived. There was no proof of his body. Shout out Osama. And so.
A picture.
Yeah. Threw him off the boat.
Of a mangled face. Yeah, that could go pretty deep. But
yeah, we won't touch that. But today. So like
that air twin tower.
There's theories that he helped with the Twin Towers. There's theories that like Hitler, not Osama, like that Hitler helped like basically from South America helped create a lot of issues throughout. You know.
Yeah, one of the big ones was the like he helped the thought for like South you know when we went through like I think it was Cuba, right? The Cuban Missile Crisis.
Yeah, bad pigs.
Yeah, like he like helped with that. I know where you're going with the thought process of just coming attacking from, which I definitely do believe he lived. I mean, I was telling you about it. There's that. I'm gonna find a documentary because I know it's still going on. But the investigator, the missing persons investigator, he like traced an underground tunnel that was never discovered from the airport that they think that he took off. That literally, what really happened. This is factual. Like this is Hitler's belongings were on a plane, and a week before his bunker was supposed to be raided and shit, that plane took off from an unallied airport and went somewhere else and just gone. And then one of the big things was that it was sent out to like the German Nazi soldiers. Don't shoot at any aircrafts flying over, and then there's at least one account. I'm not sure I have to dive in and see if there's more, but one known account of a guy that was in battle. He's like, yeah, no. But yeah, there's a literally tunnel to that airport, and it leads right back to the 90-mile tunnels that the Nazis had underneath Germany and shit. Like, I don't even know. Like, if you guys look anywhere into the FBI reports or anything, there's no solidification that says, and the United States wasn't even the first ones there. It was the Russians, and they went in, they fucking took all this luxurious shit. They said they've seen like a body. They didn't even say they've seen Hitler's body. They just said it was bodies.
You could have easily had a stand-in.
Yeah, no fucking shit. You know how many fucking doubles there are? Like, I don't know. Especially when you're fucking big ass dude.
And
like
listen,
that,
he was a fucking shitty dude. He was a horrible person, but he was a genius. He was very intelligent.
Yeah, see, that's a big thing that I really will say a lot whenever I bring Hitler gets brought up. Like, I don't agree. Like, I don't know. It's just like cliche. Like, you got to think about it. Like, think about like the way the United States is. Like, or not even the United States, just something in general, right? So if you have a belief and you're really thorough with that belief, you're gonna thrive and you do what. And this kind of dives into some religious aspects. But it's just like, are you really gonna hate the guy for going fucking all out and believing what he believed? I mean, yeah, there was a Holocaust, there was a genocide. But there's much more than one genocide. There's been Irish genocide. The Irish went through their own genocide.
Yeah, thanks, Catholic Church.
Africans, dude. There was European, European. There it is. Yeah, it's happened multiple times. Why don't we show credit to any of that?
Well, so in that aspect, I will slightly disagree with you. I feel like the genocide kills his validity in his point.
Yeah.
But
it was going pretty far. That's how you knew he was tapped.
But. Yeah, that's at that point in time you knew like it got too far. The ego's too much. But like there's been studies and it's tough because it's a rough topic because people are very emotional.
Yeah.
But like again, if you don't study history, you're determined to repeat it in one way or another. And he was one of like the best salesmen ever. He was one of the best speakers. He was extremely charismatic, and that's what people don't think about him as because we just think about him as this big bad fucking dude. Well, he's a little bad dude. He's a fucking small guy. But
how did he get all those followers? That's the question you don't ask. I've seen a few speeches. It was subtitles and shit. When I was younger, I didn't really understand the fucking shit, but like I don't know, dude. The emotion, like you said, the charismatic, like the emotion he brings out, like he sells people on what he's portraying. That's how I mean. You got to be pretty fucking good to get one person to kill another person.
Not anymore. Back then you did.
Yeah.
Now it's pretty fucking easy.
Yeah. Now you get enlisted to do that. Yeah, that's.
I'm just talking about just generally in the streets.
Yeah.
Just fucking.
Yeah, money, something.
Anything. Yeah. Fucking snow shoveling.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. That's kind of weird how that ties in. It makes me feel very unsettling. Like, it just goes to show, like, look at your own country. Like, you think, like, yes,
country's fucked.
Yeah, it was definitely a tragedy. Any genocide, any killing of anybody, or purposeful killing for opinionated reasons is terrible.
Yeah, I mean, that's you're trying to create a superior race. That's pretty fucking egotistical bullshit.
Yeah, that's what you tie into the Atlantean. Remember that the Atlantean.
I know.
But, it's essentially just like a terrorist act, and you have the good in the world, you have the bad in the world, and this guy just was a great person at being bad.
Well, again, I feel like that's somewhat unfair and play devil's advocate again. Like, I don't believe in absolute good and absolute evil. Like, there is good in everyone, there is evil in everyone.
Yeah, well, that's how he got those followers. He was good, but he was also...
At some point in time. And he kind
tensions.
The other thing, like, he kind of rallied that country back after World War One.
Yeah.
Like, he brought them back to being, like, respectable and, good country.
From what I read, you went from nothing, and he convinced people, like, he gained so much fucking power over that country just by I am Hitler. Like, this is me. Like, I have this plan. And that was partially probably because digging him out of I think that's what it was. Digging him out of the World War. Because he was part of World War One.
Yeah, but not like in a...
like a crazy powerful standpoint, and he took over after, because that's what it was, because World War One they got fucked over, so they cleaned house. Germany cleaned house. Hitler was down there, and he came up, and then he just went dictator kind of.
Yeah, he went complete dictator about it.
Damn. Yeah, I definitely believe he's alive. I definitely like that one. That could be something that goes deeper, especially with more of that thing. By the way, there was several points in South America that were like Nazi allies, I guess, or supporters. And all that.
Supporters.
So,
and
out of everywhere in the world, anywhere in the world, you're gonna want to go. But then,
what's the best place to hide?
Yeah, but like if you got such a big ego like that against races,
at some point in time, though, when you beat, that's gonna put the ego in check.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
self-perseverance and survival skills is one of the biggest things human have.
Yeah, we'll drop everything and anything just to survive. Yeah. Well, that was an hour.
Yeah,
that was crazy. That was nice.
It worked.
That was nice.
Yeah, I feel like that was very, very interesting. Like you said, I don't know that I expected this to necessarily be an hour, but I feel like to add maybe a couple of these as well. Like every so many episodes, just some new thoughts and new theories.
That's what I was gonna say about this, like kind of the experiment, it's the thought bubble. If you guys liked any of the
think tank thought bubble,
think tank, yeah. What there was a fucking. We used to call it in school where we had to think, not critically thinking. Brainstorming. Yeah. Wow, nice. Yeah, I thought of that thinking it. A brainstorming episode. This is just kind of, grab a feel and where to go in the future.
I feel like we got a couple too. We got a couple ticks.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Definitely beneficial. I mean, this isn't, and the best part about this is we are not anywhere near a drought of content, but we're just trying to stay like refreshing. We don't want to just dive down rabbit holes and become this type of podcast. We want to, at times, every couple episodes, step back and say, hey, maybe this catches instead. Maybe let's go this route and we can revisit back down that path later.
Yeah, not cliche. Oh, yeah. I think the big point is to stress the enlightenment fact of it. You got to really scratch that fucking brain. You can't just sit there. I mean, the government theories and conspiracies, those are all fun, but
I think overall enlightenment episode would be terrible.
Yeah, I mean, we kept up pretty good. Atlantis, you throw in ancient Egyptian, we kept up pretty good.
No, but I mean by enlightenment, like
straight up achieve it, because we did talk about it. When you do get
enlightened or hit that
hit that spot. That's you have to go through that and learn all those things.
Journey.
Yeah.
But I think potentially taking different dialects and different theories of enlightenment from different religions and different times, and then talking about them. And seeing the similarities and differences.
Yeah.
And then maybe doing what we do with everything else and just making a hodgepodge fuckery of it and creating our own theory.
Yeah. Or by finding and going through all these things, we might discover
ourselves.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, did imagine you take everyone on a journey. It'd be crazy.
It'd be pretty relative to what we're talking about.
Here it is.
Well, yeah, so I mean, this was obviously another episode of Relatively Thinking with your host, Cody.
And I'm Sean. This asshole Sammy who doesn't fucking do anything.
Doesn't contribute at all to the podcast.
Yeah. He's just here to wave.
Like always, go ahead and comment. I will put those links to those pictures so that way you can go into it. So when you're, now that this is past it, you're not going to fucking know.
Oh, we put it on Instagram.
Yeah, I'll do that too. Put it on Instagram as well, and we'll put the links in so that way afterwards, or hopefully you'll catch the point that we're going to put it in, and maybe you just click them and you're at that point in the video, but who knows? You may not be that enlightened.
Achieved.
So anyways, again, you will catch us next week at 9 ish, and so we'll I don't know that we're going to marry to enlightenment next week, but that may be the route. So we'll definitely post it up on Wednesday again about what we're talking about. And just stay tuned. Make sure you follow the Facebook page, follow the IG page. We will actually start putting pictures on there eventually, I promise.
We do have the Snapchat, but we got to wait.
Yeah, we haven't got a subscription yet. There's fun pics. Anyway, we'll get everything up and running. We appreciate you guys hanging out. We appreciate you watching. Yeah.
And have a fucking terrific night.
Yeah. Peace, love, and chicken grease.